Well, good afternoon, everybody. What a day. What a day. And I was handed the job a couple of days ago to try and sum this whole thing up. I thought, that's the easy bit. It so isn't. It so isn't. I've been taking copious notes. And I'm sure you'll agree, we've had some truly incredible speakers. I feel not only inspired, but just it feels a privilege to have been here today. And I hope you feel the same. I've been sitting there quietly sort of observing and reflecting and really trying to take it in, but there's almost so much stimulus. My mind's buzzing, and I hope you feel the same. I hope there's lots that you're taking back to wherever you're going back to. But I've tried to take some, to join some dots and pull out some kind of key themes. I started with 2, I went to 5, and I've gone back to 3, so I hope it makes some sense. So the first is that the bravery that's needed to stand up or to speak out. We saw that again and again and again today through all of our speakers. To do the right thing, I think, is how I would sum it up. There's a real bravery in it, and it was there in spades. Secondly, if people can be their best selves, really be their best selves, then their potential is almost limitless. And I think we had that again from multiple speakers. And then finally, thirdly, the need for us as leaders to create the conditions, I think I would call it, for people to really thrive, to really be their best selves, is incredibly important if we want our people to be brave. So those are kind of 3 things I took out. And now, some people, like many of our speakers today, don't see it as brave at all. I'm sure you all picked up the thing. How many of our speakers said that? Well, it's not really brave. It's just what I do. Billy just said it. And it's almost a matter of personal responsibility for them. They see it as a sort of personal imperative. It's just what they do. Now, for the rest of us, it's actually, David Knott was a brilliant example of that, wasn't he? You know, when he described how he was just on his bike. Just on my bike, and someone phoned and said, could you come and save someone, you know? I mean, it's totally awe-inspiring for the rest of us, but for him, it was just what he did. And, you know, I really was struck by that. But for the rest of us, it's maybe not quite as straightforward, and we need encouragement and support. And that's really what I mean by creating the conditions for teams to thrive. And actually, Drew talked about that this morning. He talked about life and leadership and courage being a team sport, which I really believe. And also, never forget that people are brilliant. And Gina touched on that as well at the end when she was asked a question. You know, fundamentally, she still had hope because people are brilliant. And if you take nothing else from today's amazing lineup of speakers, Thomas Barter, who's sitting here, his brave research finally puts a number on the importance of those moments of bravery that make the difference between success and failure. And indeed, nearly 50% of success is picking those moments of bravery. I love that it wasn't all the time, it's just picking those moments. And you'll choose your own, but it could be following a hunch, following your intuition, and backing a team that needs your support. It could be building a new strategy in the face of opposition within your organisation. It could just be giving that one person a chance when no one else will. And I think most of you will have been there at some point in your careers. I think you know when and where those moments are. We really all do. It's just a case of picking them carefully. Now, as we heard from Gina and other speakers, our world is increasingly complex and uncertain, and that's definitely the case right now. And in that context, the speakers today have shown us ways that leaders can really embrace the opportunity to be brave. It's one of those words that's a bit nebulous, but I hope it's less nebulous at the end of today. And I'd encourage you to take some of the lessons and use them. I've written down my versions. You'll have your own, but I want you to take them away, use them in your organisations, use them in your teams, but most importantly, use them in your lives. I've just got a few here. So Rob, I think you're still here. Yeah, I can see him through the lights. So Rob's go slower to go faster, and making pausing a thing. I love this because I really feel I need it. Give yourself permission to put pauses in your life and slow things down. And even just that exercise we did in breathing, I think was quite meaningful. He gave us some great tips around inhaling and exhaling time. Drew, first of all, allowed us to highlight the clear superiority of Quality Street over Roses, probably the single biggest insight of the day, but we all knew that, right? And by the way, just as a slight aside, if any of you want personalised tins of Quality Street, they're on sale at John Lewis as we speak at a very good price. You can have all the green ones if you want. I can tell you the prices, by the way, of all the different, and toffee pennies are the cheapest. He also, perhaps more importantly, gave us a roadmap for how to be courageous. So what a brilliant tip right there, a roadmap. Dan Cable, who was our first speaker this morning, it seems like a long time ago now, but he talked about the risks to bravery. He talked about two risks in particular, which really resonated. The first was our natural desire to conform. We all just want to conform and fit with the crowd. And the other, which I hadn't really thought about, but is genius, which is our pretense that life goes on forever, that somehow we've got indefinite time to make our marks, and of course that's not the case. He encouraged us to embrace experimentation and to really grasp opportunities. And there was a brilliant quote, which is that life is not a hassle that you need to get through, and work is not a commute to the weekend. And what a brilliant, inspiring comment. And then the final one I pulled out is Vicky Gosling, who demonstrated, I think, the power of having a really singular vision and doing whatever it takes to achieve that vision. And perhaps the phrase of the day for me, which was, kick the arse out of life, which I absolutely loved. So I could have gone on. I hope you've found your own. Now, turning my attention to the event, I think putting on an event like this, as you can imagine, it takes some doing. It takes imagination, it takes tenacity, and indeed it takes bravery in bucket loads to put something like this together. It takes a long time. And Gemma and the team have really outdone themselves, I think. Last year was braver than the year before, and this year is without a doubt the bravest conference yet. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to you, Gemma, personally, and also to your team, who are utterly brilliant. So well done. Round of applause. Now, as Gemma touched on this morning, our ambition at the Marketing Society is to help you, our members. We're nothing without you, our members, and we want you to feel a bit braver when you leave today than perhaps when you arrived this morning. So I hope that's how you feel. We want to leave you with some inspiration, as well as some practical tips and tools, and I've just touched on some, so that you can be the bravest that you can be in your own lives and careers, and go on and inspire the people in your teams too. And we're thrilled, we really are thrilled that we can play a part in helping to make that happen. Now, talking about making it happen, I want to say a big thank you to those who have also made it happen. First of all, to our sponsors. You can see them on our screens, but I really want to call them out. To Teeds, to Hawk Incentive, to Accenture, the Social Element, and to Deloitte Digital. Without you, we simply couldn't have done this. So thank you very much. There's quite a few thank yous, so we should probably cut the applause, otherwise it will just go on. Thanks to, of course, to our incredible speakers. I've said enough about that, I think, but they're really awe-inspiring. To our wonderful production team behind the scenes. To our amazing MC, the brilliant Sophie Morgan. She does deserve a round of applause. And finally, to you, the audience. These sorts of events can be a bit dry, can't they? I hope this has been a good use of your day. I could see you've listened, you've participated actively, and just in the act of coming here, you've obviously been open to doing things differently and to being braver. So thank you for that. Now, just before I formally close things, I wanted to give you a reminder that we've got a very special event coming up. It's the Society's 60th birthday dinner. Yep, it's our diamond anniversary this year. It's quite remarkable. It's on the 27th of November at City Central at the Hack. And it will be hosted by the winner of the 2019 Funny Women Stage Award, Laura Smith, as well as some amazing emerging talent from the Mobos. So it's going to be an incredible night. We're also going to have a chance to reflect on the most iconic brands of the last 60 years, which in itself, I think, is a reason to come. We can vote for our favourite brand of the last 60 years and also on the Brave brand for 2019. So it promises to be a memorable night. There's only a handful of tables left, so if you haven't got one, seriously, get over yourselves and get it booked. You've got to get a move on. So that's it from me. Safe journeys home. Remember to join us for drinks. But most important of all, remember to be brave, be braver, and be the bravest that you can be. Thank you.